Hello, on this solo episode of the podcast, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things you can do in July to get organized for the upcoming holiday season. Isn't it about time we get rid of the stress, the anxiety, and the overwhelm that comes from not doing the pre planning? So stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Christmas in July. That's right, Christmas in July. I'm excited about this topic because this is a way for us to start pre planning now. And of course, this is the first episode of the month. So, of course, it's a solo episode where it's just me and you. So, you can get your pen out, you can get your tablet out if you're not watching us on your tablet or listening to us on your tablet. And you can really begin to start thinking about how you want to really plan your time, your energy, and your money for the upcoming holiday season. So I'm going to give you 7 strategies in order to do that. So, number one, start with just the planning. Just sitting down, maybe taking an hour or two, and really thinking about, how you want to really plan your time as well as your energy. Maybe, we go to these events and of course we're involved in the prepping of it. So do you have to allocate some time now before and block that time out? Or maybe you're part of the cleanup, or because you're having such a great time, you actually need to take some time and just rest afterwards. So begin to block out that time now. So when, those events come up, you won't be stressing trying to figure out how you're going to fit and squeeze everything in, because it's going to definitely reduce your stress. So think about that. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things as well. But number 2 is set a budget. What is your budget going to be? And because you can start allocating, I mean, it's July. You can start allocating money now for things like, is it going to be, do you want to buy more decorations, your menu items? Because sometimes once we start planning that menu, before we know it, we start adding things to it. So maybe just add a little extra, thinking about what you spent last year. Of course, thinking about prices of things this year, but then just start putting money aside for that as well. And, thinking about decor and gifts and all of that stuff. Begin to think now, what can I realistically spend? Because really what you're thinking about is, one, right now we're in July. So, of course, you've got August. A lot of you have got children, whether they're going to just, you know, school, high school, junior high, just starting school, or they're in the college years. So you have to think about all of those things and how you need to budget everything around that. So budget early and start putting money aside for all those things. Number 3, your gift list. Now, of course, thinking about your budget, but also thinking about, are you going to buy a gift for a family, gift for every individual person? Are you going to do, a lot of people do what they call like a Pollyanna kind of thing? So, what are you going to do? And what works best for you, your budget, your family? And that may be a great time to have a discussion right now and saying, look, we know how everyone's budget is and everybody's lifestyle is changing. So let's think about how we can really enjoy the holidays without all the stress and overwhelm and anxiety, specifically when it comes to thinking about our budget and all of these obligations we have. So that's the third thing. Number 4, declutter the holiday decor. Now, it is a little early for you probably to even think about, how do I want my home to look and feel during the holiday season? But then again, it may be a great time to get rid of those things. You may look at things and say, I didn't use it last year, didn't use it the year before that, and the year before that. So maybe it's time to just let go of that stuff. But also, it'll help you if you do decide, maybe you're in a new home and you want to do some changes. You can start budgeting now for the things that you want. And not only that, some of you are very creative. So maybe you want to start allocating budget and time in order to create those things as well. Because I know a lot of you who are listeners as well as viewers, and you're very creative. And sometimes you cause yourself a lot of undue stress and anxiety because there are things that you want to do, not only for the holiday season, but also for events that may be coming up for the holiday season. And you are stressing out right now because when it comes to that moment, maybe November, you got a lot of things going on at work, in life, but now all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I wanted to do these different type of decorations. I've got to squeeze time in. Well, let's start allocating that time right now. So think about that. But also getting rid of things that are taking up space and also giving them to a new home to somebody who really truly would appreciate it. Number 5, organize your kitchen. Let's go in the kitchen right now. Let's not even wait for the holiday season. This is a great time because we have already in the second half of the new of 2025, the second half of 2025. So I'm sure maybe a lot of you maybe went into the pantry. Maybe you did go into the pantry at the beginning of the year. Maybe you even went in the spring. But let's begin to really look at what's in there. Because sometimes we do go in and we organize, but then there's things in there we're like, I have not used this spice, or I have not used that ingredients, or these are things that I bought, but unfortunately the family just does not enjoy eating. So think about that as well. But go in there and begin to even look, because some of you may have things stored, above the refrigerator and those tall cabinets at the top shelf. Look at those dishes. Are you using those dishes? If you are, great. If not, is there somebody else in the family who would appreciate them, or is it time for you to let them go? Because this is a great time to really begin to set up systems and for your things in your kitchen so that when it comes to that time of year and that season, all you'll have to really do is just kind of restock. And that's really what the whole, organizing your kitchen and making sure you have a place for everything and everything in its places so that when it comes to that time when start doing all those wonderful dishes for the holidays, is all you have to do is restock. And don't forget your freezer either. When was the last time you took an inventory of what's in the freezer? Number 6, schedule now. When is the Thanksgiving dinner? When is the holidays dinner? When are the parties? When is all of those things? And also, one of the things I really want you to think about scheduling is your holiday prep time. I'll just take, for example, Thanksgiving. Now, of course, you Thanksgiving Day, but then, of course, the day after, a lot of you are home. And a lot of you actually are home probably resting because of all the things you've done. But then, of course, the night before, the day before, what do you want to do a week before? What do you want to purchase like maybe a month before? Start blocking out that time now so that when it comes, it'll pop up on your calendar. You'll already have it set and scheduled. You won't be stressing because of other things. Again, a lot of times when we are managing our lives, our professions, our careers, and then the holiday comes up, it kind of sometimes can cause a lot of undue stress for a lot of us. So that's why start scheduling stuff now. If you know you have to travel, start blocking that time out right now because what time you want to leave, when you want to leave, what day, when you want to return, you know, even to the point, for those of you who decorate for the Christmas holiday, when do you want to start really beginning the decorations? Because some of you start that day after Thanksgiving, some of you may wait a little bit. But that's why a lot of times it's good to kind of dig in to those holiday decorations now. So when it's time to actually really create the look and the feel you want for the holiday, all you have to do is really spend your time and your energy just creating and not going through stuff that maybe you haven't used for the past 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10 years. So think about that. And then, of course, number 7 is really sitting down and just planning. Planning when you're going to mail things. For example, maybe you're going to be mailing gifts and packages to other people. When are you going to do that? Because you also have to take into consideration it's a time thing. You got to go and mail it. But then also you have to allow yourself time to stand in line because everybody else is going to be mailing things as well. And you want to make sure it gets there on time. So take that into consideration as well. And of course, when are you going to sit down and wrap things? When are you going to wrap things? I still remember one holiday I was actually wrapping for a cousin Christmas morning, which wasn't a big deal, but that's what I was doing. I was up in her bedroom and I'm wrapping everybody's gift Christmas morning. So when are you going to be doing? And that's why I wanted to come to you in July. Like, let's start doing some pre-planning now. I know you're thinking, Jan, I'm just out here having fun in the sun. That is wonderful. But right now, if all you do is really just block things out of your schedule of when you want to do things, just kind of do some pre-planning there and just begin to think about a budget. So that as it gets closer and closer and closer, maybe you do start your shopping in October, or the beginning of November. You'll at least have a budget. You'll have that money set aside. So just to recap, start with your holiday planner. That's it. That's all you have to do. And that's probably all you want to do while you maybe got your feet propped up or you got your toes in the sand. Number two, set a budget. Decide what you're going to budget for your meals, for gifts, for decor, because you can easily just put that money aside each and every week. Create a gift list and make sure you take your budget into consideration when you do that. Clutter anything that your holiday decor, and that could be just kind of getting rid of the lights, finally getting rid of the detangled lights. And of course, in my story, and I just want to pause just for a second. So I realized with my decluttering that because of one, storage space, but also because of my energy, I did not want to have to decorate a 6-foot tree. I just didn't want to do it. I prefer to decorate my home with holiday items, but the whole tree decorating thing was like, now I did see a nice little small tree, so I'm thinking about getting that. But those are the kind of things you really have to think about for yourself. Organize that kitchen, but better yet, just making sure your kitchen is so in order that all you have to do is just kind of restock some inventory. And then, of course, making sure again, once you create the plan, start planning out when you're going to shop. Start planning shopping for food and all of those other things. And of course, number 10, plan for mailing as well as wrapping as well. So, I want to know what you thought about all of these gifts, all of these little strategies for actually being prepared now for the holiday season. Let me know below if you've decided to do one, two, or actually really kind of tackle each and every one of those throughout the following week. So please let me know. So, of course, for those of you who are just watching this via YouTube, I truly want to thank you so much for joining me. And for those who are listening via the audio version, please continue to listen to this podcast. And again, until next time, you have a clutter-free day. But of course, please stay tuned for more on the audio version.